Women lead the National Consumer Debt Index because they do not care about analyzing their finances. They care more about their emotional impulses of buying things. Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Gucci. Super expensive lines that women buy to look like they have money. They don't, so out comes the credit card, and then they are soon $10,000 in debt. Women get a dopamine rush when they spend money, whether it's theirs or yours. Men get a dopamine rush when they see that hard-earned money pop into their account or grow with investment. Men are gatherers of resources, and women are distributors of those resources. I got 3 emails from men talking about how their partners have bad money management habits. Let's start with the first email. Hi Manhood, I really love what you're doing for us men. I've learned a lot from your channel. Keep on keeping on. Well, thanks for the word of encouragement. Let's get to the body. I believe women have a money management problem. I own a home, I make about $75,000 a year, and I have to be very financially conscious to stay ahead in life. I always seem to bump heads financially with women. Here is a fun example. I have been dating a woman for 5 months. We go to Taco Tuesdays every Tuesday. Tacos are on sale on Taco Tuesdays, and it has been a cheap way to get lazy dinner on Tuesdays for years for me. So I included my new lady in this routine of mine. In 5 months, she hasn't gotten a taco once on a Tuesday, yet she claims to love Taco Tuesdays. She will also order way too much food and silly drinks, and doesn't even try to help tip. She turned my simple Tuesday routine into a $1.60 wasteful night out. When I try to nicely bring it up, she acts like I exaggerate. This is the 4th woman in the last 2 years who is very financially wasteful in way more ways than just tacos. Is this normal? Or is it the type of woman I'm attracting? As I said at the beginning of this video, women get a dopamine rush when they spend money, whether it's theirs or yours. You did try to help the situation by talking about it, and she didn't listen. End ties with her. But if you think you still have a lot of $60 in your bank account, you can keep painting the town red with her every Tuesday. Every woman I have dated or known is lousy at budgeting their money. Don't get me wrong, I know men who are lousy with their finances, but not near the number of women I know. My theory is that men, through their evolutionary role, have learned to conserve things for later down the road or in a time of need. Whereas women, through their evolutionary role, get to sit back and reap the benefits of our hard work, while not having to conserve their resources because they can almost always find another man to take care of them. If my theory holds, should we have a woman sit atop the Federal Reserve handling the nation's money supply? I know that sounded sexist, but I can assure you it is a legit question. Women don't save money because they expect the man to take care of them. Women in many industries are earning more than men. Women also get more education than men. Women are also less risk-averse with finances, so they are less likely to lose money with risky investments. So women clearly are not stupid, and they can create a nice income for themselves. But women don't save or invest money, and that results in many women getting poorer by age than men. And of course, they blame patriarchy for their own irresponsibility. I used to believe it was because women have children, but even women without children are poorer than married women with children. Don't you find it odd? Men are always considered less responsible with everything, and yet men do better than women in this aspect. If women can provide for themselves but don't, and they are clearly not stupid, I think the reason they don't save is probably very simple. Women expect a man to financially care for them as they get old. The thing is that men live for less time, and older women are less attractive to men. If men accrue enough resources, and they can pull younger women, they will, just as women who can pull richer men do. So obviously this creates an economic gap. It is sad, but basically, it is just karmic justice. Just as men are poorer younger on dating and sex, women are poorer economically later in life. That is life. Second email. My wife is terrible with money. Should I give up trying? It's a problem of my own making. My wife has never been very good with money. Always quick to spend on payday and struggling weeks before the next. As I've always paid for everything, I earn 3 times what she does. And we have been together since we were teenagers. She never developed a sense of financial independence. I've tried to get her involved, so many times. Discussing what and whys of the bills, involved when housing mortgages, plans for our savings, the update on credit cards and loans. Encouraged her to set up even a small savings account, or even get online banking. But there's no reasoning. She just doesn't get that this is something she should be bothered about. Lately, it has been irritating me, especially when I am the only one saving. I started to think about putting money aside so I could actually treat myself, but thought that might be a bad idea. Am I massively overthinking this? I'm only going to ask you one question. How is she making up for this habit? Because I'm sure if she did give you peace, and everything men wish for in women, you wouldn't have sent me this email. This isn't even about the money. That's just a surface-level problem that can't even be fixed by you. You can't teach it. It is self-taught. Right now, you're enabling her to spend as she likes. Sit your wife down and talk about what you really want. I'm 100% sure that this money issue isn't all there is to it. So the last email. Manhood, my girlfriend is awful with money. What should I do? I'm 23 and my girlfriend is 21. We've been together for 4 years and she is horrible with money. When we first started dating, she lived with me for the summer. We both worked. She was working full-time 35 to 40 hours, while I worked part-time like 25 hours. However, she never had money or spent it on unnecessary things. She would suggest we go on dates, and she would pay for it. But once we got there, her card would get declined, and I ended up paying for it. I have no problem, but all the time is excessive. This happened every week. When she did have money, she would spend it on food, like asking me to take her to get food pretty much every day, and easily spent $20 to $30 on it or random stuff. One time, she bought 5 pairs of jeans that totaled $150. It's not like she didn't have jeans. She already had plenty. We got into a lot of arguments because of it. She had no other financial responsibilities at the time, but there's still no reason to spend wildly. Sometimes she would ask me for money, but I would tell her no, and she'd get mad. On a couple of occasions, we booked a hotel room for a couple of days while I went to visit her in college, and she would tell me at the last minute that she didn't have enough to pay her half, and that if I could pay it all, she'd pay me back. The problem is, she would not pay me back until months later, and tried to give me less than what she owed, and did that with everyone she borrowed from. She has no problem asking her mom or grandpa for money, which I think is wrong, especially for leisure things, not needs. It created tension in our relationship. Fast forward to now, she's living beyond her means. She has a $450 plus car payment, pays car insurance for her and her mom, phone bill for both of them, and pays her mom an additional $400 to $600, which leaves her barely anything for gas or essentials. She told me she didn't want the car, and that the car salesman pressured her into it. She only put down $600 on a $27,000 car. Now she's stuck trying to figure out how to pay all of that when she barely makes $1,200 a month. Plus, they're about to cut off her financial aid at school because she keeps dropping and failing classes. I feel bad for her, but she doesn't listen. Both her credit cards are already maxed out. She makes monthly payments but can't seem to get them down. She wants to move out with me soon, but I told her we should finish school first because rent, utilities, insurance, car payments, unexpected emergencies, etc. add up. And I don't want to live barely having $20 in my bank account to make it to the next paycheck when I can save up at home. Now she's into tattoos, so she's been getting tattoos every month since March. Not small tattoos either. She has half her arm covered so far. I understand everyone has their vices, as I like to buy hats and shoes, but she literally spent all her money on a tattoo when it was supposed to be used for us to save for a vacation. I try to talk to her about money, but she gets defensive. Today, she told me she put in her 2 weeks at her job and hasn't even started looking for another one yet. She literally has no money in savings, so I'm confused as to why she made this sudden, drastic decision. I love her, and she's great otherwise, but it's annoying dealing with this and makes me worried for the future. Advice? She has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, which have both been particularly bad lately. Her family is also bad with money. I went with her to pick her aunt up a couple of times, and she always asked her for cigarette money. Or her mum is lending out money to her aunts or cousins that rarely gets paid back. They all seem to ask each other for money and depend on each other. I think her environment plays a big factor. I'm trying to encourage her to finish school so she can leave. I don't think she will ever thrive if she stays in her town. Everyone there seems to barely be making ends meet and not being properly taught how to manage money. Young man, this is going to sound extreme, but hear me out. Do not ever marry anyone who can't handle money. You will get fucked. They'll be in debt, possibly pull you down with them. You'll rightfully blame them. They'll get defensive and hostile, and you'll both be stressed out and miserable. She has to learn how to handle money, or you're over. This is a basic skill that any adult needs to master. If you can't handle money, you're not an adult. You're a child, and we don't marry children. I don't know what your long-term plans are with this person, but if you plan on marrying her, if there is no major change in her behavior within the next year, I'd honestly call it quit. A union with a person who can't handle money is doomed from the start unless they are willing to give up all autonomy and let you handle all finances, which is something that people are rarely willing to do and which comes with another set of insane problems. Anyway, that's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers.